All right. All right, Nat, you with me?
Yes, I'm right here.
All right, so I'm gonna take everything in like smaller digestible pieces. That way you can do the translating. And we've done this before, so I'm pretty sure you got it down. So first, I just want to thank Dr. Kim for jumping on again, especially from home while you're not even working today. We appreciate that. There was a few people who messaged me and they were really sad that they missed yesterday's webinar. So I asked him if he could just jump on again today. So thank you for that. Every time I pause, that's when you start talking.
Okay. So primero que nada le queremos dar las gracias al doctor por acompañarnos hoy. A pesar de que ayer hicimos o también lo mismo, pero como hubo personas que no pudieron asistir, lo vamos a repetir otra vez. Y aunque hoy es día de descanso, pero pues gracias por que nos acompañó.
And I want to just kind of introduce why, what made me even want to have this a part of our facility, as far as the medical weight loss with the semaglutides.
Sí, primero quiere compartir cuál es la razón de que queremos agregar este servicio a la lista de servicios.
I have a whole lot of, I have several clients that have been my clients for a very, very long time. And I know all of my clients' habits. You know, I know how they eat, I know how they work out. And over the last couple of months, we've had a few clients that came in that made so much progress when it comes to their weight loss. And I already know that these ladies were struggling with their weight. They don't work out. Not all of them eat the best. But I noticed that a handful of these ladies all of a sudden dropped a good amount of weight. Some of them 10 pounds, some of them 20 pounds, some of them more than 20 pounds. So I asked them what they were doing. And this is what they told us they were doing. They were doing the semaglutides. And then that's when I asked Dr. Kim about them as well.
So, a través del tiempo, hemos visto que, pues, él tiene muchas clientas que han perdido mucho peso a pesar de, aparte de hacer los tratamientos y también, aunque no se cuidan, no comen bien, no se alimentan bien, no hacen ejercicio. Y entonces lo que fue es de que nos compartieron el secreto y, nos dijeron que estaban usando este tratamiento que es de semaglutida. Entonces, Brandon le preguntó al doctor Kim y es por eso que estamos empezando esto, porque hay muchos buenos resultados y de una manera saludable y sin ningún riesgo.
So before Dr. Kim goes into explaining exactly what this is and the uses for it, one of the things that I'm using this Zoom for is to also give our clients some precautions as far as like when they start taking it, a couple of things that I really want them to keep up with.
Okay, antes de que empecemos y sobrepasar la información con el Dr. Kim, queremos hacer este Zoom para darle la información adecuada a cada persona y para preparar a cada quien para que estén preparados para lo que es el tratamiento.
So in the 20 plus years that I've been a personal trainer and a nutritionist, I've never seen something work this fast without the same amount of like crazy side effects. So I want to give my clients precautions as far as certain things to do about, you know, as they start to lose the weight.
En tanto tiempo que hemos estado y más Brandon que ha hecho por más tiempo, nunca ha visto algún tratamiento que funcione, pero aparte también que no tenga tantos riesgos aparte.
So because, and this is mainly directed towards our clients that are already doing this, that's why we started to do the the Zooms just to get several of our clients together in one spot, but other people asked if they can join in. So it's always, more, the more the better are welcome to get this information. One of the things you got to think about why people start to get loose skin in the first place, and it's usually from just rapid weight loss. That's one of the things that we deal with on a regular basis when we're doing our skin tightening treatments for our clients. They're coming in because they lost some weight, and then we do the RF skin tightening. So if this is a regimen that you're on because you're going to lose weight a lot faster than normal, make sure you stick to one of two things, preferably both of them. Step up on your workouts to really start to take the opportunity to tone your muscles and build muscle tone. This will help make you more solid. So as the body fat on top starts to go down, you have more of a firmer body. The other one, if you already are starting to get body sculpting treatments, if you already have somebody who's doing it, make sure you stick to your RF skin tightening treatments at least once or twice a month, just because at the rate that you're dropping body fat it's way more than you normally would. I'm focused on health, but I'm also focused on aesthetics. I want to make sure that our clients look good. It's great that you lost the weight and you're a bit healthier. I love that. But at the same time, we like to post pictures on Instagram about how great we are. I want my clients to look as good as possible. So I'm really focusing, telling my clients to focus on, their muscle tone and their skin tightening. Okay. Go ahead, Nat. I know that was a lot.
Ok, so con ese tratamiento lo que sí recomendamos es de que lo mantengan, es algo que tienen que mantenerse constante, pero también combinarlo con los tratamientos de radiofrecuencia, que son para apretar la piel, ¿verdad? Para que no quede, porque con el tratamiento de semaglutida lo que va a pasar es de que va a perder uno mucho peso en poco tiempo. Entonces queremos evitar de que cuando la persona pierda mucho peso no vaya a quedar con la piel flácida, sino entonces a la misma vez de que está haciendo el tratamiento de semaglutida, queremos también que se mantenga constante con el tratamiento de radiofrecuencia, más que nada, pero siempre combinarlo para evitar que quede esa piel flácida. Y aparte, como nos importa mucho los resultados de nuestras clientas, queremos que siempre mantengan sus tratamientos constantes y a la vez también que se sienta uno bien, ¿verdad?
Thank you. And the other thing that is very, very important is you're going to really have to focus on your nutrition if you choose to be on this program, because your appetite is going to decline a lot, okay? Which allows you to not have all these crazy cravings for, all the things that are hurting us in the first place. But one of my clients that had lost 9 pounds in 3 weeks, she also expressed to me that her energy was really low and she had to focus back on her nutrition because she eats garbage. She eats nothing but fast food on the go. So now, even though she lost the weight, when she would eat, she would still eat just a little bit of the garbage. So now you look up in 3 weeks' time, her body was getting very little nutrients, okay? Very poor quality of food. So her weight was going down, yes, of course, even though she wasn't eating good food, but at the same time, she wasn't nourishing her body. I'm always going to put a priority on your health. I want to make sure that, I want you to be prepared for that part, just because you're not going to have the cravings, you're going to eat a lot less. You have to make those meals count. So literally write out the type of foods that you're going to eat on this program and just look at that and ask yourself, okay, am I hitting all of my groups? Am I getting good sources of protein? Am I getting a variety of vegetables and fruits? Am I getting a healthy carbohydrate? You have to have that lined up for you already, just because we've all spent most of our life eating based off of the way we feel. That's about to change, because we're not going to feel like that all the time. So now we're just going to have to consciously tell ourselves, what is it that I have to eat? Nah.
Ok, y otra cosa que queremos en que se enfoquen es en la parte de nutrición. Como este es un programa que es un poquito acelerado, va a bajar mucho de peso uno y queremos que, como se le va a reducir el apetito, queremos que las comidas que sí coman, que sí cuenten, ¿verdad? Entonces, que se enfoquen en cuánta proteína están comiendo, cuántos carbohidratos, si están comiendo suficiente vegetales, suficientes frutas, suficientes vitaminas, cosas así, para que no se le baje mucho la energía, porque esa es una de las cosas que sí va a notar, que con el tratamiento le quita mucho la energía, pero es también basado en la nutrición que tiene. Entonces queremos que coma bien para que se sienta bien.
All right. So experiences wise, my wife is also on this same program. Dr. Kim happens to be my wife's doctor for her hormone therapy as well. My wife, she eats really, really good. She's very structured. She works out very often. And overall, she's a fit person, but her natural build, she's very curvy. She's short, so any little weight on her drives her nuts. She reached a point where she couldn't get past a certain weight, even doing more of the physical activity, even when she was eating healthier. Part of that had to do with her hormones. And then Dr. Kim was helping with that. But this program is something that she ended up getting on after tons of research, just to help move her in the right direction.
Ok, la esposa de Brandon es una de las personas que puede, ¿cómo se dice? Puede dar su testimonio, ¿verdad? Ella es actualmente una paciente del doctor Kim que está haciendo ahorita un tratamiento de hormonas, pero aparte de eso también es... Oh, sorry, sorry. So, aparte de eso, también está con él. Entonces, ella empezó este tratamiento de semaglutida después de hacer tanta investigación y de tratar otros métodos, pero siempre llegó a un punto donde ya no podía bajar más de peso. Entonces, actualmente ahorita está ella también en el tratamiento.
All right. So Dr. Kim's going to go into explaining actually how this works. Also, we're not the only provider for this. So there's providers all over the place for this. We just so happen to, well, we as in he happens to know about the different compound pharmacies that save about 70% off. If you guys are looking to do one of these programs in your area, what you'll do is you'll let me know what city you're in. And based off of what city you're in, we can give you some of the best options for you, just because this is a very popular program right now. And because of the high demand, it can be kind of pricey, but we have ways around that as well. So just let me know after this if it's something that you're looking for in your area, and then we'll find some of the best options for you. But again, Dr. Kim, so you can introduce yourself and let them know what this is and why you're doing it.
Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Kim. My background is family medicine, and then I'm going to explain about, I'm sure many of you have heard Ozempic, Semaglutide, or Wegovy from your friends or family members. Brandon, do you have that slide?
Yeah, let me pull that up.
Okay. And it's easier for them to see and understand. So I'm going to explain about this medicine a little bit. So initially, it was made to treat type 2 diabetes. Okay. Well, Ned, can you translate up until this point?
Hello, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Antes de empezar, él es el doctor Kim y él es especialista en medicina particular. Entonces, él tiene pues mucha experiencia en todos esos tratamientos Y ahorita lo que vamos a explicar es sobre el tratamiento que estamos hablando, de semaglutida, también conocido como Ozempic. No sé si lo han escuchado con sus familiares, sus amigos. Y ahorita este tratamiento es muy conocido por muchos lados. Y regresando a lo que estaba hablando Brandon, lo que pasa es de que como es muy conocido, muchos lugares están subiéndole el precio al tratamiento, pero lo que queremos hacer y nuestra meta con este tratamiento es poder conectar a mucha gente a este tratamiento, ¿verdad? Entonces, con la ayuda del doctor Kim, vamos a preguntarles a cada quien también en qué área se ubican y para poder ofrecerles el tratamiento a un buen precio, porque tenemos muchas conexiones, muchos conectes que nos pueden ayudar y no es necesario que gasten mucho dinero en el tratamiento como en otros lados le están subiendo el precio. Ahorita vamos a sobrepasar toda la información con el doctor Kim y poco a poquito igual vamos a seguir traduciendo.
Okay, so I'm going to explain this slide. So number one is FDA approved. So this has been a lot of research, and then this is really safe. And then you are going to get a once a week injection, sub-Q, usually in your belly, just like the way you inject insulin. And then this has two mechanisms. Number one, it's going to lower your sugar in your blood. And number two, it's going to decrease your appetite. So.
Ok, con este tratamiento, la forma en de que funciona es de que vamos a hacer una inyección semanal, una vez a la semana, y es una inyección subcutánea, que es como parecida a la insulina para diabéticos. Y trabaja en dos formas. En una es de que le va a bajar un poquito el azúcar y dos es de que le va también a reducir el apetito.
Okay. So if you go down the slide, so it's used for somebody with obesity, BMI over 30, or overweight, BMI over usually 25 or 27. And then many patients lose 20% or more when they're on this program. And then the compounding semaglutide we're going to provide has a B12 in it. So B12 combination with a semaglutide is also give you energy.
Ok, con este tratamiento, es más como para personas que tienen un poquito más de sobrepeso, y pueden perder hasta 20% del peso si se mantienen en el programa, ok.
And then, so I'm going to explain about some of the side effects. So this doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to about 10 to 20%. And then, but usually those side effects go away within a couple of weeks. The most common side effects are more like a GI side effects, like a nausea, constipation, or indigestion.
Ok, ahora vamos a hablar de los efectos secundarios. Sí, como cualquier otro tratamiento, este tratamiento también tiene efectos secundarios, pero se le van a ir reduciendo después de las primeras semanas. Y uno de los efectos secundarios más comunes con este tratamiento es el náusea, constipación, vómito o también indigestión.
Then let's move to the next slide.
Oh, I think it's just pictures. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So these are some of the examples. They were on this program and then they lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
Estas fotos son unos ejemplos de pacientes actuales que han estado en el tratamiento y han perdido mucho peso.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the five, we have 5 of our clients here that come in for body sculpting that had already started a couple of months ago. Out of those ones, because I'll ask them all, especially since my wife was about to start it, I asked them, how do they feel before even recommending it to my wife. One of them that complained of low energy was the one who wasn't eating the right way. She was eating like the fast food, even off on this program. She says once she started like actually prepping her meals, that, you know, that got corrected within a day or so. There was only one who said she felt a little bit nauseous. She said it lasted about a half a day. And then there's all the other ones said they felt fine. Once my wife started her program, she's so big on doing everything the right way. She went grocery shopping and everything just to like have all her little meals and everything. I was anxious to see how she was feeling. And the very next day she was just like, oh, I feel fine. I feel fine. One of our clients says she feels very, very alert. That can be probably a side effect of the fact that she's also basically doing like intermittent fasting with this as well. And, you know, because without that appetite, it's easier to intermittent fast. And usually that kind of comes with, you know, some type of cognitive enhancement. That's pretty much it. I said a lot on that. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Ok, so ahorita lo que está diciendo Brandon es de que en el spa donde estamos ahorita, en Exclusive Spa, tenemos 5 pacientes actual que están haciendo ahorita el tratamiento. Y más que nada, como también su esposa iba a empezar este tratamiento, entonces queremos ver cuáles son los efectos, cómo funciona, qué sienten y todo eso. Y ahorita de estas 5 personas, una sí tuvo efectos secundarios, pero más que nada fue porque la forma en cómo come, su nutrición. No se está cuidando, come de todos modos comida chatarra, entonces sí sintió un poquito más de los efectos secundarios. La segunda persona, ella sí sintió más que nada solamente náusea, pero después de medio día del tratamiento se compuso y se le quitaron. Y las otras 3 personas se están cuidando un poquito más, cuidando su alimentación, su ejercicio, entonces no sintieron estos efectos secundarios. Pero cada persona va a sentir cosas diferentes. Su esposa, como por ejemplo de Brandon, su esposa, ella se preparó bien y lo que hizo fue de que fue a la marqueta, compró todo bien, preparó sus cenas, sus comidas. Entonces no sintió nada, hasta ahorita no ha sentido nada de esos efectos secundarios.
Right. So, and there are a couple people there are a couple categories of individuals that this isn't good for. So Dr. Kim will cover that as well, just to make sure if you are a good candidate for this.
Yes, if you have type 1 diabetes, or if you have a chronic kidney disease, or if you have a thyroid medullary cancer, then you're not a good candidate for this medicine. So this was initially made for type 2 diabetes. So I'm going to explain about this a little bit. So they were treating type 2 diabetes with the medicine Ozempic. And when they were on this medicine, patients were losing so much weight. So that's how they found out this works really well for weight loss. Same mechanism as Viagra. Did you guys know that Viagra was initially made to treat hypertension in the lung? But when patients were taking it, males in 60s, 70s, 80s, everybody was getting erect. So that's how it was developed to treat erectile dysfunction.
Ok, entonces vamos a explicar ahorita un poquito sobre el tratamiento. Con semaglutida inicialmente fue creado para tratar el diabetes, pero después de los estudios y de estudiando este tratamiento, notaron que aparte de bajar el azúcar en diabéticos, lo que también estaba haciendo es haciéndoles perder peso. Igual como el tratamiento, el producto de Viagra, también igual, lo hicieron para tratar hipertensión, pero notaron después con los estudios igual que también estaba haciendo que las personas, los hombres, les curara ¿cómo se dice? Lo que tenían, ¿verdad? Entonces, es igual en esa forma como funciona.
And then right now, a lot of most insurance do not cover Ozempic or Wegovy because number one, it's on national shortage. And number two, they're very expensive. for, I think, 4 week supply, it can be anywhere from $2,000 or even more. So that's why, you know, this is all we came, you know, how to treat patients with not using insurance. Okay.
Ok, con este tratamiento, lo que está pasando ahorita es de que la aseguranza no cubre el tratamiento, porque ahorita es muy común y aparte de eso también puede ser muy caro, que ahorita lo están también vendiendo hasta por un tratamiento de 4 semanas, lo están vendiendo por hasta $2,000. Entonces, lo que queremos hacer es ayudar, pero sin hacer el mismo costo.
All right, so what questions do you guys have for Dr. Kim? Aslan? Go ahead, go. You know.
So once you start this, and you may lose the weight, does it come back?
So I'm sure you guys already know, like phentermine and other types of appetite suppressed medication. Once you stop it, usually your weight comes back with a yo-yo effect, right? But semaglutide or Ozempic is very different because not only suppresses your appetite, but also lowers your sugar. And when your lower sugars also, since you already lower sugar, it's gonna decrease your lipo tissue in your body. So yo-yo compared to phentermine, yo-yo effect is so much less.
Got that, Nat?
Yeah. Net, can you
Yes.
translate?
Yeah. Okay, so ahorita lo que preguntó es de que si con ese tratamiento, después de tomarlo, si uno sube rápido de peso. Pero como han escuchado con otros tratamientos, por ejemplo, con fentermina, lo que pasa es de que uno baja de peso, pero después igual sube de peso. Pero lo que pasa con este tratamiento es de que como no solo le ayuda a bajar de peso, sino también le controla los niveles de azúcar, lo que pasa es de que cuando usa el tratamiento también le disminuye el aumento de la grasa en el tejido. Entonces, casi por la mayoría, ese peso que pierde uno no lo vuelve a subir.
Alma has a question. Go ahead, Alma.
Hola. Mi pregunta entonces sería que no se gana peso como de rebote, como comúnmente después de perder uno peso vuelve uno a ganar con el tiempo. Y otra pregunta sería, ¿no tiene algún efecto en la glándula tiroides?
Okay, so her question goes back to the same, if you were to gain all the weight back after losing it, and then also if it has any side effects or if it interferes with the thyroid.
So I'm going to answer the thyroid question first. So if you have like a hypothyroidism or usual thyroid disease, that's fine, as long as you don't have thyroid cancer. And then to answer the first question, so this has very little yo-yo effect because not only it lowers your appetite, but also lowers your sugar. And because it lowers your sugar, it's going to help lose your lipo tissue as well.
Ok, so lo que le contesta acerca de lo de la tiroide es de que no le afecta y no le interfiere en ninguna forma si tiene como, ¿cómo se dice? Hipotiroidismo, pero si tiene cáncer en la tiroide, entonces ese es otro tema, que sí, eso no la haría candidata para el tratamiento. Y con la otra pregunta, la primera pregunta del rebote, como estábamos explicando anteriormente, es de que como el tratamiento no solo le baja el azúcar, le controla el azúcar, sino también le reduce el apetito, también le quema esa grasa, entonces no le va a causar rebote.
Oh, se suena excelente. Entonces, a lo que yo entendí, cuando uno inicia con ese tratamiento, uno tiene que comer muy saludable para mantener bajo los efectos secundarios que ellos mencionan. Por ejemplo, una bajada de azúcar.
Mhm. So her question is that if when starting this treatment, is it like mandatory to keep a healthy nutrition, working out, eating right? Is it just to avoid the side effects?
So so just from the clients that we have that are already on it, nothing's mandatory. I have clients that are still eating bad and losing a lot of weight just based off of the nature of it's both an appetite suppressant and it's lowering your overall sugars because it works with your insulin. So you'll still lose weight when if you're not eating properly. But that's another reason for this webinar is to tell our clients not to do it that route because it will affect your energy levels. The only way you can overall be healthy is if you put good nutrients in your body. So even though you're going to be eating less, make those meals count. So it's not mandatory. Another lady asked in our last webinar if she's allowed to have her beers on the weekend. This is not a contraindication with the alcohol. You can still drink alcohol, but you want to just be doing everything in moderation and mainly focus on getting good nutrients in order to stay healthy and keep your energy level up. So she can lose weight eating garbage, but it will affect her energy levels.
Okay, so lo que le contesta es de que ahorita como hemos estado observando nuestras otras pacientes, las 5 que mencioné hace ratito, ellas han estado perdiendo peso rápido y sin, 2 de ellas, ¿verdad? Sin cuidarse, sin cuidar su alimentación, sin ejercicio ni nada, pero el propósito de dar esta información es para decirle a nuestras pacientes de que traten de no hacerlo en esa forma, sino que cuidarse mientras bajan de peso para que puedan mantener sus niveles de energía bien, no sientan esos efectos secundarios, pero no le impide ninguna otra cosa. Por ejemplo, en la última cita también preguntaron que si podían seguir tomando alcohol, ¿verdad? Y este tratamiento no le impide nada, porque de todos modos, coma bien o coma mal, va a perder de peso porque le ayuda a producir más insulina para bajarle los niveles de azúcar poquito controlados y también aparte que le reduce el apetito. Entonces, quiera o no, de todos modos va a perder de peso. No es mandatorio que se tenga que cuidar y comer bien, pero sí les recomendamos que lo hagan para evitar esos efectos secundarios y para que mantengan sus niveles de energía en un nivel sano y para poder perder de peso sanamente.
Ajá. Nat, yo me refería a si se puede dar una caída de glucosa en la sangre por mantenerse uno, por ejemplo, algún rato sin comer, o sea, algunas horas sin comer, que vaya a tener alguna caída de azúcar en sangre. Esa era mi pregunta básicamente. Ajá.
Okay. Okay, so she's wondering that if because it's lowering and controlling your blood sugar, if it will cause if it'll cause your blood sugars to drop significantly, and then give her like a side effect like ketoacidosis or something like that.
No, so this is not like it doesn't rapidly drop her sugar because it's a weekly injection and then it's going to work in your body very slowly throughout the week. So it could drop some, but not that to the point you feel like a hypoglycemia. Your sugar is so low, you feel really dizzy or like that because it works throughout the week. It's a once a week injection, so it doesn't rapidly drop. Because if you there are other medications like a glipizide, for example, that's something you take daily, then it can drop your sugar. But this works throughout the week very slowly, steadily.
Ok. Entonces, lo que dice el doctor es de que como este tratamiento es semanal, sí le va a bajar poquito el azúcar, pero es a un nivel controlado y un nivel que no corre un riesgo de hacer algo como hipoglicemia. Entonces, es sin ningún riesgo y le va a mantener entre esa semana, porque el tratamiento es semanal, entonces en esa semana lo que va a hacer es de que le va a bajar bien lentamente a nivel de azúcar, ¿verdad? Pero
Ajá.
otra vez a lo mismo, no le baja significativamente el nivel, sino nada más es poco a poquito y para poder que el tratamiento funcione.
Ah, muy bien. Entonces, el tratamiento sería de acuerdo al porciento de grasa que cada persona tenemos. Por ejemplo, 1 mes, 2 meses. Ya ustedes evaluarían el tiempo que uno necesita.
Okay, so he's also wondering if the treatment is based on like per person. So how long would it last? If it's like a month, 2 months, or how does that work?
So it varies from person to person. So I usually recommend 3 to 6 months, but some people might reach their goal within 3 months, or let's say some people with like 400 pounds, they want to lose about 200 pounds, then it's gonna take some time, even more than 6 months. So everybody has a different goal and then different way to start with, but I usually recommend like a 3 to 6 months.
Okay, so el doctor sí recomienda igual basado a cada persona, pero lo que pasa es de que cada persona tiene diferente meta, diferente cantidad de peso que quiere bajar, entonces sí depende en cada persona, pero usualmente lo que sí recomienda son 3 a 6 meses de tratamiento para que pueda haber ese cambio. Y hay personas que en 3 meses llegan a su meta y bajan lo que quieren bajar, pero si, por ejemplo, una persona que tiene un poquito más de peso, que pese 400 libras, quiera perder 200 libras, entonces sí va a tomar un poquito más de tiempo, más de los 6
Ajá.
meses. Sí, es basado al cuerpo de cada persona.
Al cuerpo.
Por usual son 3 a 6 meses.
Ok, gracias, Nat.
We're gonna go LaShonda, Shamika, and Tiffany.
Hi. Okay, so part of my question was answered about the 3 to 6 months, but I wanted to know, let's say you do start like 3 to 6 months and you stop for a couple of months and then you decide, well, maybe I should go back on. Is that okay, or can you experience some side effects from doing so?
Yes, you can stop,
Thanks.
take a break, and then you want to do more, you can always go back. Not a problem.
And before Shamika's question, I had a question. Azalina, is you over here on a weight loss seminar drinking Kool-Aid?
Starbucks sugar water. Yeah.
I'm gonna call you later.
Brandon, you're so wrong.
I can't help it, man. I know her. She over here. This is a weight loss.
I mean, you said we could eat like trash, right?
And before I got on it, and before I left the house and got on this, my wife was like, "Make sure you stay professional." And I was doing good until I see my girl drinking a cup of Kool-Aid on a weight loss.
I have not had Starbucks in like 6 months.
Girl, do it off camera. Shamika.
Hello, I was late, so you probably already answered the question. The first question is this the recording? Are you guys going to send it out?
I recorded it in case you need to replay it and catch the first part of it.
Okay, yes. I got the information from a friend, so she actually sent me a text. But my question is the medication covered by insurance? I started Mounjaro November 5th, and I had great success with that. But and I paid for it out of pocket cash, right? So it's like $1,095, and then by the end of December, I couldn't afford it anymore. So I went back in February and found a Semaglutide, right? And I've been doing Semaglutide, but what I found was the Mounjaro was like way better than the Semaglutide. I had way better effect from the Mounjaro, like 5 milligrams. I didn't even get to the max with the Mounjaro as opposed to the Semaglutide. So my question is it covered by insurance? And I have Kaiser, so I know Kaiser's not going to pay for Mounjaro unless, I'm diabetic, and I'm not.
So it's not covered by insurance.
Do you guys have Mounjaro generic? I know they have the Semaglutide with like the B12, but what about the Mounjaro?
So we have a semaglutide with a B12.
Yeah, and Manjaro is just that, you know, we have to pay for it out of pocket.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So right now, I don't think it's offered as a generic form.
No.
It's right now in brand form.
Okay. All right. Are you seeing the same success with because I heard you earlier say like it's person-centered, it's person to person. So are you seeing the same effect with the semaglutide as you are with the Manjaro, or is it just me? Is it just my body?
So I'm gonna explain a little bit. So Mounjaro and then semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy. So it's different brand name, but they're all under group called GLP-1. So they're all in the same class, but using different name right now. And then yeah.
So Mounjaro is a semaglutide because
No, it's not the same, but they're all in the same class. It's called GLP-1.
it's a peptide.
So Manjaro is the GLP and GIP. There's no generic for the GIP. I know the GLP is the semaglutide, but for the GIP, is there a way we could find that?
So right now, I think they're only in brand form right now.
Only in brand form. Okay, thank you.
So that's going to be the $1,000-something every shot. Yeah. Tiffany, did I cover it? I'm so sorry. Did I cover what you were asking, Shamika? Okay, Tiffany.
My question, some of my questions were already answered, but the other one that I did have was, is it recommended that the injection's taken at the same time and same day?
Not necessarily. So usually so if you take it today, like Monday, it's recommended to take next Monday, but it doesn't have to be exact same time.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then you can have 1 or 2 days. Let's say if you take Monday, you can take, it's better to be Monday, but you can take like Tuesday. It doesn't have to be exactly like very detailed.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Did I cover everybody?
I have another question. Did you guys discuss the price, or should I look at the replay?
So here's what I'm gonna do. Just because there's different providers in different areas, I'm gonna, before we end this call, and this worked out really well yesterday, the way we did it, I'm gonna tell you guys my cell phone number. Okay, text me your full name when you text me. Don't like text me and say, hey, this is me, I'm texting you. And then I'll be able to, because what I'm going to ask you is where you live. And it's based off of that, I'll be able to help you with like some of the best ways to get this. All the information that we're going to give, we're not just going to send you a list of providers or anything like that. We're only going to give you information that's based off of an average of about 70% off. Now, here's how that is even possible. Okay. Dr. Kim, when he started his practice, the first thing he looked for was his own compound pharmacies where they generate the different prescriptions. So the difference between when you see like a pen that says Ozempic and when you see a pen that says Wegovy, and then when you see the way it's put together from a compound pharmacy, the difference is the coloring and the spelling on the label and a few $100s more just because it's packaged in that brand. Okay. It's very similar to like if you guys shop at Costco, you guys understand that Costco has some of the best tequilas and whiskeys out there, but they don't make they literally go get it from the same place and it's just in a different bottle. That bottle affects the price greatly, right? We're like at our location, we're averaging about a third of the cost. But the only reason is because Dr. Kim orders it directly from the pharmacies and not from the brand themselves. He doesn't write the prescriptions for the brands because that costs our patients too much money. Okay. So that's like the behind the scenes on like how it's even that much more affordable. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you my phone number, and then you guys just text me, and then I will send you over information as far as like different programs that we have. Just to kind of give you an example, for like Long Beach location, one of our girls came in, and she manages a medical spa. They have this same program that we have. And they are super, super, super busy right now providing this at market rate. And the moment she heard about what we were able to do, she was like, I'm about to send all my friends to you guys. Because she's not the owner of the spa, she's the manager, but she's just like, it doesn't make that much, it doesn't make no sense that the price difference is that much and it's the exact same thing. So we'll get, that's another thing. We wanted to make sure that you guys had information on how to get this at a very affordable rate. All right. Tiffany, did we cover your question? All right, Azalina?
You did. Sorry, I couldn't unmute.
So how long does it take once you start these injections? And is it only an injection form? Can it be in any other form?
Yes.
And how long does it take before you start to lose some weight or the weight?
I've seen as early as just one injection. And then some people, it takes more injection, maybe 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But some people I've seen after one injection, they lose weight.
So I like being a guinea pig, especially when my clients are going to do something. And it's crazy because we started a weight loss competition between like me, my staff, and some of my students, because I'm also a coach, right? So I went up to Dr. Kim's office, his other office in Chatsworth, to get work done on my knees. Like he was doing some stuff for my joints for me. And I'm like, hey, while I'm here, what's up? So I got one injection, and this wasn't even like a regimen. Like it was like one injection over a month ago. I lost 5 pounds in 1 week. I eat about 80% clean, and I remember I had 2 drinks that week, or 2 days where I had drinks that week. Just because I was looking up all the stuff. I was like, am I allowed to drink? Am I allowed to drink? Because I got like a really nice bar, and I had company coming over and everything. So that week I ate about 80% clean. I had 2 days of the week where I had something to drink, and I still dropped 5 pounds. And then I came to work, and I was just telling my staff, like, man, yeah, I've been swimming every morning, and then I started running the hill, and then I do the sauna, but I got me a little boost. But I don't like to, I don't like to tell my clients stuff, and then they ask me questions as far as like, how does it, especially because like, I think I got a pretty good tolerance for like anything uncomfortable or whatever. So my biggest thing too, besides wanting to cheat on the Biggest Loser competition thing, was wanting to explain to them that the feeling of like, is there nausea? Is there constipation? Is there any of that? Because this slows down your GI tract or whatever. That's another reason to eat real food. Because one of my clients, she wasn't eating real food just because she's like, I don't have an appetite, so I just snack on little stuff. And she realized like, okay, she wasn't as regular as she used to be. And so she like changed up her eating a little bit, and that fixed it right away. So stay hydrated, and then have a good amount of fiber, like from food, just eat regular food, what my wife is going through right now, she really enjoys it, especially because we got like a little app and we're counting down our days to a cruise. She doesn't have a taste for anything. And she kind of likes it because, my wife does pretty good, but when she got a taste for something, it's a wrap. Like I can think the day is over with, we're in for the night, and she's just like, Shake Shack. And I'm like, I get up and I go get Shake, because she doesn't crave a lot of bad food, but her cravings are strong when she gets them. Now she's enjoying the fact that she's just like, I don't really care what I eat. I'm just going to eat something that's not nasty. And it's making it so much easier for her. But you just got to make sure that you eat real food, you guys. All right. You guys ready for me to say my phone number? Or is there any more questions?
I have one last question.
Go ahead, girl.
And I know you mentioned about the scheduling. So let's say if you come Monday or every Tuesday, get your shot, but maybe you go on vacation and then you're out the following week or the few days after that Monday or Tuesday. Is it okay to have that break in between that shot, or do you need to try to get an extra shot in before you go? Something like that.
No.
You know, just curious.
So
as far as
usually
medication
when you go on a
schedule.
vacation, let's say you're out of town, we usually give you injection to take home, so you don't miss your week.
And it's not
Oh, okay, thanks.
It's so my wife worked at a hospital. She used to take out stitches and she used to give other people shots. And she went to give herself a shot and then she started screaming for no reason and running downstairs. She was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. The needle is like so small, right? But some people are just like that. We had another lady here that we assisted and with her shot, she's a nurse. She gives people shots every day, all day long, and she couldn't do her shot, right? When we assisted her, we was like, all right, we're gonna do it on the count of 3. And then we just did it on 1, but she didn't feel it. She didn't even know we shot her. It's like a tiny, tiny baby needle. So it's not that hard to do. So when you pick up your prescription, we'll actually walk through it with you and show you how to do it. Cause some of our clients, they just come and do it here. They don't even take it home just because they're already here doing their body sculpting treatments. So they just like, okay. Yeah, it's not that. You literally just, the way it is, you grab a fat fold, right, on the side, and then the needle is going to go not directly in you, like forward, but to the side. So just grab a fat fold and just, and just, you practicing over there, and then just go, and then it's like a little baby needle. You scared of needles?
So do the patients come in weekly, or do you guys give them the
So
vial to take home?
So some of our patients come in weekly if they don't live in the area or their schedules just aren't too convenient for it. We package it up for them and we give it to them to take home. And there's like a plastic container that they have. It's like a little case that we put it inside the case for them to like protect the needles from like being thrown in their purse and all of that. Just because like when I took my wife's injection home, that's like one of the first things that I did wrong, where I like packed up all the stuff and then I had a needle and there's a cap on the needle. So I'm like, I know the needle part is safe, but the back part that you push in wasn't safe. And like part of it like pushed in and squirted into the cap. And I was like, oh man. So we package it up in this plastic case just to protect it from like being thrown around in your car or anything like that.
So it's pre-drawn. It's drawn.
Yeah, because it's gonna your doses are gonna be pre-measured for you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? All right. So if you don't have my phone number, I'm gonna tell you my phone number. Most of you guys have it, but it is, and if you guys text me, I'm gonna call you within the next hour. Okay. Which literally means I'm going to start calling people right away, but just based off of whatever questions and help they need or whatever, it might take me like 10, 15 minutes to get to you, then to the next person, just because sometimes this is a group just to answer general questions, but there might be some other questions that is like nobody else's business or whatever. So, that's why we're going to call you like individually as well. What's up, sis?
Will these shots, could this trigger more like diabetes at type 2 or whatever diabetes? Can it trigger something?
No, actually, this was initially made to treat type 2 diabetes, not trigger type 2 diabetes.
So to stop it, but if you're lower, somebody else asked about the lowering of the sugar. Someone said if someone's taking this type 2 diabetes medication, that they always have to take it, but we don't. If we're taking this, it's just primarily for weight loss.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. This is for weight loss. Yeah. But
Okay.
if somebody has type 2 diabetes,
Yeah, I don't
and
have
then
that.
then actually with one stone, we are catching two birds, right? It lowers your weight. At the same time, you're treating your diabetes. So.
Because type 2 diabetes is extremely reversible. Okay. When you have an excess amount of visceral fat around your organs, that's going to automatically put a lot of pressure around your kidneys, and that's going to throw your insulin levels off, and that's what leads to type 2 diabetes. We can literally just do that in reverse by lowering your body fat percentage, getting rid of that excess visceral fat underneath your muscles around your organs, and then that's automatically going to regulate your insulin levels. Because I've done this personally with my clients within a few months with only nutrition and personal training. Like type 2 diabetes is extremely reversible. Like I've had clients that were type 2 diabetic for 5-10 years, and we get off within 3-4, and then it's completely reversed within 3 or 4 months. It's directly related to your body fat percentage. So you don't have to always take medication for type, like, and I tend to be a little bit passionate about that kind of stuff because I've lost way too many friends early behind preventable illnesses, you know, like preventable stuff. And I'm talking about in their 30s and 40s. So like, that's the only time I tell people what to do, you know, however you want to look. But when it comes to like those type of measures, I'm like, nope, you gotta get it right, you know.
And can they do pills? Is there a pill form?
Oh, you asked that earlier.
I didn't get the answer.
There's no pill. This is a once-a-week injection.
Okay.
So I'm going to explain.
We
all know the root of most diseases: cardiovascular disease, stroke, heart attack, diabetes, hypertension. Once your weight is better controlled, we all know all of these diseases can be reversed or prevented, right? So, okay.
Perla?
Hey, B.
What's this?
So I have question. I had a couple clients that were asking if it's safe to take if they're currently under a diet plan such as Herbalife or taking phentermine.
I get that question a lot, whether there's an interaction between phentermine and Ozempic. So there's no interaction between phentermine and Ozempic.
Okay, so it's safe for them to take both if they're already on like phentermine or something?
Yes.
It's not.
So
Okay.
I've had patients who are taking both phentermine at the same time they're taking Ozempic.
Oh, okay, perfect.
There's no interaction.
Okay, and so if they're doing Herbalife and things like that, then that's safe. It's not gonna interact or anything like that.
No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
But sometimes if you're taking both, you're not sure which one is doing what. So I usually tell them is start with one. But if you want added effect, you can combine both.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it was safe.
Hey, Nat.
Yeah, sorry, I had a question myself too. So similar to Carla's, I believe. I have clients who are asking too that if it's possible to combine this treatment with fat burners or like weight loss pills.
So I have a lot of patients who are on fat burners, such as MICC. I'm sure it's a once a week, it's like a weekly injection fat burner. So there's no interaction between MICC and then semaglutide. Or
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, and then also, is it possible to do, for example, like a keto diet with this treatment, or also like continue to do intermittent fasting voluntarily?
So you can do keto diet and others, but one thing you have to keep in mind is that since this is still diabetic medications, it can still lower your sugar. So not taking any sugar at all, you know, so you can lower your sugar. So that's something you have to keep in mind too.
Oh, okay. And then lastly, my last question, is this, or would it be a safe treatment for kids?
This is usually recommended 18 and above. So this is not for kids.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. Thank you.
Brendan, can I comment?
Of course.
I was just for the lady that just said it, I was doing keto in the beginning with the semaglutide also. And because like the doc just said, it already lowers your appetite and you're not taking in any sugar. I have not had any energy. Like he said, it lowers your energy. I've had no energy to exercise. So the keto diet is kind of just for me personally, it took all my energy. And I know it was because I wasn't giving my body the carbs. I'm doing keto and I'm trying to fast and I'm taking this. And it was just too much of a strain on my body. So I had to readjust things. So just to add that.
Yeah, I would
That's a
listen
great
to that
comment.
advice, just especially because the rate that people are losing weight without even really trying to is so extreme. I personally wouldn't recommend for my clients to try to stack it all up, because I know you want these effects, but let's get the effects where you can do something where it's more long-term and enduring. Like we're not trying to have you, we're not giving some pep talk about this is why you need to be miserable for the next 3 months. Summer's around the corner. Let's get sexy and be miserable. Like you need your energy. You need your mental focus. You still have so many other responsibilities in life as mothers, as business owners, as employees. Like there's so many things you need to do that you don't have to sacrifice that just in the name of trying to lose weight. Our clients are dropping weight and they're not changing anything about their lifestyle, except they're just naturally not eating as much of what they used to eat, on top of the fact that it's automatically adjusting your insulin levels and the sugars in your body. So I personally wouldn't try to go from not doing nothing, and that's why we're on this webinar in the first place, to trying to do everything in the world overnight, so even though there's not contraindications between taking this while doing this, I personally would just stick to one thing and just see those results, because the results are, like I said, it's crazier than anything I've ever seen. And I've been a personal trainer and nutritionist for 20 years. Every single time I've seen, and I train competitors, so I'm looking at all the illegal stuff too, just because I'm such a health fanatic that I'm always trying to find ways to keep my clients in the best shape and trying to show them how to compete, but not sacrifice their health. So I'm getting educated about all these things that they're taking and trying to take to drop weight. And it has crazy side effects. I've never seen something that you get this amount of progress without the side effects. And even with the amount of side effects that you do see, besides the brief nausea that some people see, the majority of the other side effects that are reported are also extremely preventable. Stay hydrated, eat fiber, keep your digestive system going, So most of those side effects also have to do with the fact that people eat garbage and now they take this and then they eat just a little fraction of the garbage, So
I remember, where do we learn to eat well? You shared something with me a long time ago. I don't remember, but.
So we're going to start with jumping out that Kool-Aid. I'm gonna go over, even in our kits, we give you this little printout of ways to eat on a semaglutide regimen. So we have them already. So when you get your program, that's, I'm trying to answer this all professional without putting your business out there. But girl, you know me too long. You know good and well I've been trying to tell you how to eat. So with this program, we're going to give you a printout that goes with your thing, and it's just a nice, easy cheat sheet for you. Okay, it's a nice, easy cheat sheet as far as foods to include in your diet and foods to avoid, during this program. So it'll help you out a lot, though. And it's just easier this time around, because it's one thing for me, in the past, to give my clients and people, it's one thing to give you a diet and be here's how you got to eat, but then you're walking around all day long craving it and be oh my God, that burger smells, this time around, it's just you don't have the cravings. So now it's easier to just make the right choices this time around, you know?
And that's better than a book.
I have a question, B.
What's up?
I know you had said that you were gonna like, for those of us that have your phone number, but to text you. But if we wanted to just basically kind of base it out of your facility, could we do that versus our area?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna tell you the truth, because we have clients that jump on these webinars from like out of state, some in Fresno, some in Seattle the other day or whatever. Be in Southern California, LA County, between Long Beach, like we're gonna pretty much beat everybody. You're gonna most likely, if you're in Southern California, you're most likely gonna pick up your prescription from us, just because we haven't found, there's not a lot of people who use compound pharmacies because the margins are different, and there's just too much money to be made in insurance. So for instance, if doctors, and I'm putting a little bit of the business out there and explaining to you, because I've been educated so much in this because I've been working with Dr. Kim for a couple of years now. The insurance game is a beast. It is like, if you come in and we're able to charge you like $80 for something along with your insurance, most likely we're getting like, a few $100s for that same thing from your insurance, right? Doctors who seek out these smaller compound pharmacies and things are usually cash patient doctors that deal with patients that can't afford the medications. So they need to be able to find how to get them directly through. And there's not a lot of those around. We're not the only ones. So there are some out there. So if you're anywhere in LA, most likely you're just going to come straight here and pick up your stuff. So yes. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I can't just answer the question. I want to answer it and then tell you why that's the answer. So yeah, you're gonna come to us. So I'll send you over the information as far as the programs and it's real basic. It's just like a 1 month or a 6 month program. I'll send you those for those that are going to be able to come to Long Beach. All right. Tiffany, text me too.
I will.
Just because that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna look at my phone and just go down my list of text messages and start calling people back and giving them the information. All right. All right. So if you don't have my number, I think everybody does, but it's 909-587-7336. Nat,
Yes.
translate.
Ok, so entonces lo que va a pasar ahorita es de que va a mandar un mensaje a Brandon y después lo va a conectar con el lugar de donde va a recoger el producto o para poder recomendarle algún lugar si es que no quiere ir directamente a nuestro lugar. No sé, creo que todos tienen el número de teléfono de Brandon, entonces nada más mandarle un mensaje y para poder darles esa información. ¿O alguna otra pregunta?
If she called me, I'm calling you. So you keep your phone handy too, Nat. All right.
Oh yeah, always do.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for all your wonderful questions and input. Just because all the questions that you ladies had and the comments you ladies had were able to help out somebody else. And just in closing, remember, even though it's like a big quest for everybody to lose weight, just please don't forget, like, the main thing is to do it in a healthy way, just healthy. You want to feel good. You want to take care of your body for the long run. And that's one of the things that we're always going to like really push you to do. So I will be talking to several of you ladies in just a second. And if there's anything else you guys need, always feel free to send me a text or a DM. Okay. All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thanks, babe. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Dr. Kim and Brandon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.